to my channel. We do a lot of nature, but also crime stories or things that happen around us. In Melbourne, Australia is just completely out of control, where people are almost living the point where they don't want to be here anymore, or waiting for the government to do something. And then we have the Premier saying, oh, there's no violence. There is so much violence in Melbourne and Victoria that people are fed up and also scared. So I think it's time um, we talk about it and see it, because some people.
Let's see if these weekend warriors know.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting the news across, the message across. We facing homelessness. A lot of people are homelessness. Um, the price of food has gone up. All the things that had happened for many centuries, where we have a cycle of things going wrong. Melbourne, Australia, the crime and the violence is out of control. There's no guns here at all. So they use other weapons. Of course you do, when you have a violent nature. And they're all teenagers. So my question is, where are the parents? If we have like something like 650 teenagers, Thomas, how you going? It's just it's hard to put your face and bury it and think let's be happy and ignore what's going on around you, Thomas. Melbourne, Victoria used to be the most livable city in the world, and now it's turning to the most violent state. People are getting hurt, ended up in hospital, shops are getting attacked, home invasions daily, and they're all teenagers, apparently. And how is it that, there are so many laws, so many. Don't do this, don't do that, don't drive this, don't do that. Hey Adam, I'm Bryce. How you going? If you're in Australia, you're probably fed up too, eh? I don't normally talk about drama in my channel, but it's fucked. That is a word in Melbourne. And I think that we can't even have apparently those pepper sprays because it's illegal. So no one's doing anything. And they have law after law, don't smoke in public, don't pee in public, don't use a tree as a toilet, and you get fined. And then if you injure yourself, or say you're not working and you get evicted, they send you on your ass on the street, right? So your life gets affected, and then they're affected even more by not even helping. But when these teenagers go and starve and do whatever they want, they just walk free. So they go and do it again. They're stealing cars, they're going into houses, and there's no consequences basically to any of their actions. People have lost their lives, some people live in fear, and the world as it is, your world is your world, isn't it? Your world is your home, it's your job, it's your family, it's your mates. You go and catch up and get a beer, and, you might have not seen someone for a while, and you turn around and there's a fight or someone injured, or they lost your life. Or you just go shopping to the centre of Melbourne, right? And you're walking down Burke Street and a car comes and runs over you, or 6 or 10, and there's police chases every time. And so that's what's up in Melbourne. I mean, I'm home recovering from surgery and stuff, and sometimes, like, I go out or I want to go to the beach or go to the shop. I'm walking with a walking stick. Well, that's a weapon, but it's not very sharp. So I thought we'll watch a few stories and news. And as Melbourne's getting fed up, and the government is not doing anything. They had a few boxes where you put the machetes in, amnesty they call it, and that didn't work. Didn't work. So yeah, we'll watch so we can get informed a little bit, you know, of what's going on. But yeah, it's just
attacks, and some people are so scared they're arming themselves before they hit the shops.
Definitely put me on edge today. I was looking at everybody, extra careful.
It's becoming a massive crisis.
Sadly, we're seeing an increase in violence and aggression in a range of shopping centres.
Shopping malls resembling Hollywood movie sets.
What the is happening?
Forcing shoppers to take matters into their own hands.
No, this is Melbourne. Abdullah, no, not civil war here in Australia. I don't think they even know what that is. But it could get to that in any country when there's so much violence. Hey Lee, Humphreys, how are you? We're all good. It's just going to the sub shops, even all the states in Australia, you know, Victoria, South Australia, Queensland, Perth. No one is the Northern Territory, the capital of Australia. Everyone, teenagers are just going around rampaging and hurting everyone.
Someone's about to attack me. I can pull this out. It will blind them for 5 minutes so I can get away.
Yeah, look at this, Thomas. It's just...
Monday mid-afternoon, in the middle of Victoria's school holidays, terror unfolds outside a bustling Moonee Ponds shopping strip. 2 knife incidents within an hour as brave bystanders perform daring citizens' arrests.
I heard drop the knife, so yeah, and then these men just tackled someone to the ground.
Someone came and you know, threw the chair at him, and you know, we were able to disarm him.
He should be given some sort of commendation. He was very brave.
I missed this by 10 minutes by going home.
Local Jody has been left rattled.
I know police officers that just told me to go carry this in your pocket because the only thing you can't get charged with. We're not allowed to carry pepper spray. Rexona, you can. We're women.
So you carry that in case
I just
something
got told to buy it, and everyone's actually lining up getting these right now.
Like anyone could be like a victim of that stabbing, you know?
Every second week you hear something's going on, whether it's big or small. You just hear it's getting air. It's a worry that something needs to be done, but the question is what?
And it needs to be underpinned by the shopping centres having people that are trained to pick up the behaviours of people with bad intent. Now, that can be people carrying things that they shouldn't or pre-violence indicators, and that's how we can make a difference.
Scott Taylor is an expert in security and risk.
Because people with bad intent, whether it's violence, whether it's shoplifting, they leak behaviours, they leak physiological changes that can be picked up.
He says more guards aren't the answer, but increased training in body language recognition would help.
We get people say, well, can't we stop it altogether? And it's the same as, can we stop shoplifting altogether? Well, of course we can. We can put a 30-foot fence with some snipers and crocodiles in a moat, but you're not going to have any customers. We need to understand there's going to be some element of risk.
The knife attacks in Moonee Ponds, the latest in a series of shopping centre incidents. Joel Couchy's rampage at Sydney's Westfield Bondi Junction last year sent shockwaves around the world.
At least 6 people are dead. They have either been stabbed or shot inside the Westfield shopping centre.
This year, machete mayhem in Melbourne when armed thugs began brawling in front of stunned Sunday shoppers before a stolen car sent the same shopping centre into another lockdown. In the regional Victorian city of Bendigo, a security guard was bashed in barbaric scenes. In many of those incidents, Good Samaritans were forced to intervene.
I've got a little girl and I want to protect her, so absolutely. We don't want any violence around us at all.
And you should be able to take the kids
without worrying. Like, you're always thinking, like, what happens if someone's there? How can you protect? Do you have to have something in place or measure? It's always on the back of everyone's minds.
I've got daughters. I used to drop them off so they could go to the movies at the local shopping centre. They could go out and buy some clothes, have some lunch. But families are starting to feel less safe with those opportunities moving forward.
Victoria's opposition leader and former cop, Brad Batten.
Police numbers in Victoria with 1,100 vacancies on the rosters is a huge concern for everyone. Over 40 stations closed or reduced hours. That means the community not just have the perception of being less safe, they are genuinely less safe because we don't have the proactive patrols to stop offences like this happening in the first place.
If we've got 2 noise cancelling headphones in and burying our head in phones, we're not going to be alert and aware.
Scott Taylor says we all should be more vigilant in public places.
People have heard of the fight, flight or freeze response, and sadly there's a 4th one, and it's film. And people will pull their mobile phones out and they detach from the circumstance, and that can make matters more dangerous for them and the people that are with them, like their children.
Overseas, facial recognition technology.
Sorry, to answer your question, Abdullah, Australia actually banned all the gun laws here are pretty severe, and they had an amnesty where everybody hand their things over, and that's it. So a lot of farmers do. I suppose farmers have that option. I'll turn this around, because if you have a property, you're allowed to defend your property. I don't know, kangaroos, I suppose, are dangerous to your crops and all that. But in regards of self-defense, nothing, not even pepper spray, nothing at all. You can't have anything in Australia to defend yourself. And if someone comes into your house and they get hurt, you're charged with a criminal offense. Most people are law-abiding citizens, you know. Those old days of respect are gone, and I think it's a problem of education. Me particularly, you know, I think that when you educate, read books, and I don't know, go and pick up a language and stop being a troll and stop pushing social media for your own benefit. You know, like there's so many good things that we see, dancing, we see happy things, gardens, flowers, the natural world, documentaries. But whatever we do in our personal life, I think that when you go out on the street, you live in a society, don't worry about the rules. You should have morals. You should think, you know, how would I feel if it happens to me? But seriously, you know, put yourself exactly in those shoes. And having, you know, falling in love on a date and then getting pregnant is not miracle. It just happens, you know. Some people can't have children, but trust me, you go and you get pregnant and you have a child. That doesn't make you a parent. And maybe I'm a bit of a pain in the butt because I come from South America. And I'm like, be careful with this, you know, watch your back. Look both ways when you cross a road. Even if you have the green light, check that someone is not coming with a red. I mean, you know, you try to protect yourself from injury since you're born. You know, when you fall over, kids cry, you know, to call the attention of someone to come and help is innate in us. At what point do we lose our humanity? And that we see a lot of crime, and then we see reporters reporting. You take what you will from the news. It's been happening for centuries, right? Some people don't like the media, some people don't like politicians, some people don't like the church, some people don't like, it doesn't matter. Just be a nice human. Be a good Samaritan. And if you don't care, that's fine. You don't need to help, but don't hurt. You know, we see people in power using that power to hurt as well, you know. So it all starts at home, like Thomas, you said, parenting, exactly. Now, you can bring a child, right? I got 3 beautiful kids, right? And they all will choose what they will, no matter what I say. 1,000 times I speak 4 languages, and I can say it in Spanish, cuidado, tengan cuidado. In English, be careful. You know, in Italian, guarda quello che arrivano vicino a te perché la gente sta pazzo. You know, just be careful, you know, around you. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've been a single mother for 23, 24 years. And all I did was work, come home, cook, mow the grass, put some music on, do some dancing, promote cooking and healthy food. And I think that you can...
Every moment matters in your pregnancy.
Teach children by showing. So children, you think, will learn, and then young adults, you are the example, right? In my case, I never chose drugs or alcohol, and no matter what trauma or things happen, I never grew up to drink. But that doesn't mean I'm judging the rest. It was my choice, because I will create another problem I didn't want, you know. No, Mark Thomas, we're watching Australian crime, Melbourne to be specific, and then we have South Australia, of course, and Queensland, but Melbourne in particular has become like a jungle where teenagers just completely are out of control. So we'll show a few news and, you know, bring awareness of what's going on in the world around us. These are just some clips.
Technology has been used to detect known troublemakers in shopping malls.
Proper use of this technology, supported by training and others, reduces violent offences occurring in and around those retail spaces.
Actually try and prevent it. Get more social workers out there.
A COVID centre, 5,000 beds. Put the youth in there. Put them with an army sergeant. Lock them up till they're 18. Educate them. Put a white fence around it. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs when you have to arm yourself with a can of deodorant on a visit to the shops.
Yeah, because, you know, it's illegal to have weapons here, so people are buying Rexona. Or, you know, you got to find a really, you know, so many in Victoria. This started
disturbing details of the teenagers behind.
You know, like a year or 2, and it's still going.
Disturbing details of the teenagers behind Victoria's youth crime epidemic tonight, with some as young as 13 among our worst repeat offenders.
Victims of crime have compared Melbourne to El Salvador, slamming the government for not doing enough to protect the community. Neri Tai with this report.
From home invasions to stabbings, police pursuits and carjackings.
Oh, Solar 7, I'm sending you a lot of healing before I put this on, because it's quite disturbing. But I know how you feel, sweetheart. So many. Welcome to my channel, by the way. I'm recovering from FEMA surgery 5 months ago. So, and they hurt one of my muscles, and now I can't walk. So I'm waiting for the hospital to call any minute now. But, you know, Solace 7, I find nature so healing, like trees. Sometimes I watch the rain, and I watch the birds. Like, if you look at my channel, it's all little shorts of birds or plants or flowers or something funny, you know. I stay away from crime. But hey, Cody, Spider Sammy, I don't know. Oh, we need a spider army here, you know. If spiders could fly, I'll send spiders to all these teenagers attacking redbacks, whitetails, snakes, and I'll be sending all the Australian sharks flying over them when they're attacking. Wouldn't it be good to have the power to destroy? And, you know, be nice in the process, because violence incites violence. So we don't need
Old criminals are breaching bail every 3 hours.
It's just out of control.
Rodolfo Arena's Jeep was allegedly stolen by teens who were already out on multiple counts of bail when they led police on a high-speed chase across Melbourne's west. Just 2 weeks after the arrest, one teen was back out, allegedly breaking into cars.
And they're filming it. They're sending it to friends, you know, they're bragging about it.
A notorious youth offender in the southeast had 388 charges wiped because of the Dolly Incapax rule, meaning he's too young to realise his actions were wrong.
The kids they got no fear. They know exactly what they're doing.
Now 14, he's accused of aggravated burglaries, car thefts, home invasions, petrol smash and grabs, and a carjacking.
We have one of the lowest rates of youth offending in the nation. We're the envy of the nation.
But victims of crime say otherwise, comparing Melbourne to El Salvador.
The kids were going out doing the crime for the gangsters, stealing, robbing, and they were getting away with it.
The average age of the top 20 most hardcore youth offenders is 15. This group alone is responsible for 1/5 of aggravated burglaries where a car was stolen in Victoria.
If it is a small cohort, why isn't the government doing anything about it?
A 15-year-old boy tops the list of recidivist offenders with 30 aggravated burglaries under his name. He's been arrested 5 times. Other teens, some as young as 13, have also got rap sheets.
See, they get arrested and get let out. These
got soft floors. What do you expect?
Neri Tai, 9 News.
So Sydney is not any different, right? Let's play a hero story, right? Because this is a teenager. Oh. It's so bad, Thomas, in Melbourne. Hey, James Stewart. The crap we're going around here. I love the word the. It can be followed by so much. Yeah. Of course, Solace. We know what we're doing since we're 6 years old, and we have to hang our bags, you know, at school and pull up the chair and sit down and do homework. You know what you're doing. You know right from wrong, unless you have problems, you know, mentally. But there's some stories that are just heroic, and what you need to go through when people are trying to get into your space, you know, like could be a neighbor, it could be at a shopping center. Now it's everywhere. I mean, I live in a suburb here, but you know. Yeah, that's right. This is a good story. Let's listen.
Refused to leave his property, he was left with no choice. The result was surprising, given that Jack's opponent was twice his age and his size.
A petty neighbourhood dispute in a small community here in regional New South Wales has gone global after footage of 19-year-old Jack Stokes defending himself against a neighbour twice his age and size went viral online.
You come near me and look the out.
Don't touch her. Don't walk over her. Get out of my yard. Get out of my yard. Don't touch me.
I was actually going to sleep. I had a big day and I was tired, stressed out because I just tested positive for COVID. And then I was just like, oh, I'm going to bed. And then I had to wake up to that and deal with that. It wasn't very fun.
At just 19 years old, Jack Stokes is paying off a mortgage and making ends meet on his own at his Ellalong property after his dad died suddenly last year.
Definitely living on my own for the amount of time that I have to know how to protect myself and the people that are around me.
So when his 48-year-old neighbour, Mike Purchase, came onto his property a week ago, Jack didn't take it lying down.
I actually woke up to my dog's barking at the fence just down here, and he was in my neighbour's property, which isn't his property, trying to hit my dogs through the fence. And then I come out and turned all the lights on, and I was like, what is going on? And then I went down and I confronted him, and I asked him, what is he doing? And then that's where he started getting aggravated.
Your old man owned this house.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm sorry.
Well, you don't need to be sorry.
Well,
I don't expect sympathy from no one.
Because I could imagine how it would be.
Well, then don't f***ing come over here threatening me and shit like that.
I'm not threatening you, baby.
You did. You got told me you're gonna f*** me up. And people just assume just because I'm young and I like to have fun on the weekends and stuff like that, I'm a f***wit. But I'm actually a pretty nice person.
That, buddy.
Unless someone gives me a reason not to be, then I'm a nice person.
You get over this fence and I'll call on the cops, mate.
You won't even make it over the fence.
I'll do. Call the cops.
I will. Jack?
Call the cops. Can you please get out of my property? Pardon? Can you please get out of my property? I'm coming to knock on your door.
Jack says Mike's initial gripe was that the teenager had recently moved sandbags on a neighbour's property to try and stop it from flooding.
Because they had water coming above their back door to stop the water from going in and through the house. And his argument was after it stopped raining, why didn't you put them back? Because it put silt on his grass.
The next complaint was the floodlight.
With the floodlight, he did actually mention it a couple of weeks prior, and I haven't turned it on since for the pure fact of he said that to me. And then I turned it on because he was at the fence.
He's so polite.
I told you I would angle it down. I haven't even turned it on.
You didn't.
I haven't even turned it on.
It's on.
Because you were at the f***ing fence.
Now look.
I turned it on because you're at the fence. Can you please get out of my property? Get out of my property. Can you please leave?
No, I'm coming to knock on your door because of your light shining through my house.
Can you please leave? So I said, don't come close to me. I've just tested positive to COVID. Don't really want to spread it around. But yeah, that didn't faze him.
Look, there. Is that better? Is that better? Or good for you to ask? Thank you. I don't want to shake your hand.
You're gonna f*** me up. Do it. Make sure it's on video too.
Yeah, I got it all. Got your face in it and everything. You come near me and look the out.
Don't f***ing touch her. Don't walk over there. Get out of my yard. Get out of my f***ing yard. Don't f***ing touch me. I told you, yard. Then get out. Bring the cops.
What happened after that?
After that, he was sitting on the ground. I just sat there with him. I got my first aid kit and was wiping the blood off his face. And then he woke up, come back to, and he went to stand up, and I was just sit down until the ambulance get here.
Jack uploaded footage of the incident to social media, and it's since gone viral.
Was not expecting to see how it went. It's got over 400,000 views now, and I was just like, wow.
What do you make of the response you've had online?
A lot of people these days, they will judge a book by its cover, and a lot of people had said to me they thought that I was going to end up hurt. Some little 19-year-old kid, and then next minute the bigger guy's on the ground. That was the main response. They were very shocked and surprised. I've actually gotten messages from people in New Zealand, Switzerland, Canada, Miami, just everywhere, all over the world.
It obviously escalated. Do you regret punching him?
No, I don't regret punching him at all. I think it could have went in a lot better way if he didn't come in the yard.
I spoke to Mike over the phone and he told me he's been staying away since the neighbourhood dispute escalated. He says he's feeling remorseful and he wants to apologise to Jack for how he behaved.
That'd be probably the only thing that I'd want is an apology for him and him to own up to his own mistakes.
Get out of my yard.
But yeah, I hope he learns from it.
Don't underestimate Jack. Police were called and spoke to both men, but no formal complaint was made.
Yeah, a good behaved 19-year-old, you know what I mean? He was very polite, and Once you punch him and threw him on the ground, call the ambulance, call police and attend it to him. But if someone comes at you, things because you're a woman or a man, a little, like there's stories where men get assaulted so badly and they're not getting looked after. Like, lucky we have mental health week in November. It's called Black Dog here to address men's mental health issues, and it's very important, you know. Hey, Carol, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and it's raining and cold, very cold. Where are you guys from? It's good to know where from. We got Thomas here from Ireland and Solace 7. She's in New South Wales. But yeah, we're talking about Melbourne, and all the dramas that we have with violence. You know, it's just hard to understand and hard to know what to do in the case that, you know, you are confronted with criminals. But I mean, it happens all over the world. I just don't know a city that is overrun by teenagers hurting everyone. And where are those parents? You know, where are they? Or, you know, there should be a school.
A Melton father of 5 has broken down in tears, describing how he and his baby were held hostage at gunpoint by a stranger who stormed into their home. The tense siege ended after an exchange of gunfire with tactical police, who called on the dog squad to take the gunman down.
After a 2.5-hour siege, the end was sudden and loud. Tactical police stormed the Melton property, desperate to save an innocent father of 5 and his 1-year-old boy. 24 hours on, the terror of that moment is still raw.
To be honest, I couldn't sleep last night, and Clay got sick.
As they entered, the hostage taker opened fire with a high-powered rifle, and officers returned fire. Then they sent in a specially trained police dog.
The male offender was taken down and arrested.
Moments later, the hostage and his baby were brought out to safety through a smashed window.
They showed bravery and courage in the execution of their duties, and they should be applauded.
In the moments before the siege, the 26-year-old shot at police who'd been tracking him. Unable to escape, he tried to hide by breaking into the home. He just happened to choose Ali's.
One of my daughter's bedroom was locked, and I tried to open, and I had a noise that someone's inside and saying, I have a gun, I'll kill you if you come inside. He was threatening me. Imagine someone next to you with a gun, and you don't know whether anything.
Neighbouring properties went into lockdown.
Probably about... So, Kankarali, you know what we're going through here, right?
Half an hour of, I guess, a standoff. And then they breached the house.
Police say the gunman's crime spree started in a town west of Ballarat, where he's accused of threatening to shoot a 70-year-old woman before stealing her car and making his way to Melton.
You know, it would have been terrifying, that incident alone.
The gunman spent the night in hospital. Charges are yet to be laid. Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
It's one after the other. Right? This happened...
How long is the Aussie...
It's just fortunate that people are willing to help, you know, like some people really come to your
In
aid.
Melbourne's north. Police say he stalked a mother and daughter at a Coburg chemist before hero witnesses stepped in.
A mother and daughter walk into a pharmacy. A man allegedly follows, then harasses them. After they leave, police claim he jumped into their vehicle in the car park with them. The girl runs back into the shop, followed by her mother.
The staff member has noticed that she was agitated and quickly locked the doors to keep our customer safe.
Police say the man then ran 200 metres around the corner and up this street. He jumped the fence and into the courtyard of this Greek Orthodox church. Witnesses say he watched young children doing Greek language lessons.
He was quickly spotted by a child. He asked the child if the child wanted candy or lollies.
Parents and teachers apprehended the man. He tried to run and pushed a staff member into a fence.
A few of the dads and staff on site basically jumped to take him off that person and then put him down to the ground and basically did a citizen's arrest on him until the police came.
A 41-year-old was remanded in custody on attempted child stealing, stalking and grooming charges.
It would be nice to say that we feel safe, but after an incident like that, we don't. I mean, I spent last night counselling students.
Nick McCallum, 7 News.
The problem is, the police grab them and the judges leave them out, It's just the crime.
The true extent of Melbourne's crime crisis has been laid bare, with police admitting the crime rate is the worst ever. There were enough arrests in a year to fill 3/4 of the MCG, prompting one of Victoria's top cops to say, enough is enough.
Unprecedented, alarming and exhausting. New crime statistics.
Sorry, Ken Corelli. Yeah, not sure, I agree in part that some countries are violent, like I'm from South America, and the violence there is daily, We also have culture. I think culture plays a part in crime and poverty. And then we got drugs. And so I've seen a couple of incidents where people from African countries have, I know more stories with Latin people, very macho dominated society. But yeah. I know what you're saying and I've seen it. Especially when you come from a war zone. I've also seen it from don't want to name countries, but the Balkans, yeah. Well, when the government pays certain pensions and the rent is $400 or $500 a week, it's a bit difficult, to rent unless you rent a room or you grab a tent and camp. So, but yeah, it definitely, when you have that base, you kind of you're not forced, there's no urgency to go out. So yeah. But I think education is important. I think, using everything that Australia has to offer. If you're born here, you can study, even though it should be a born given right to have free education. It costs a fortune to study. One of my children did a diploma in writing and composing music and was doing a bachelor degree in music, but it's $5,000 a term. And you work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and then we have casual employment. You could be a bit young, but you might remember when full-time work and part-time work became casual. And slowly, all the part-time and full-time jobs became casual part-time and casual full-time. So basically, they can fire you without paying you. So, I mean, we can get into this debate for hours, but isn't it important that the government takes measures? Like, okay, so you find someone with a weapon, you lock them up, and there has to be consequences, right? Like, we get consequences if we drive without a license. They take your car, they fine you thousands of dollars. There are so many consequences if you park in the wrong spot. They give you a fine, and they can lock your wheels. If you park in a place where you shouldn't park, they take your car, and you have to pay thousands to get it out. And some people like park and then don't realize, whoops, you know, I didn't read the sign, and they take your car. But if you're a criminal and you're hurting people, I mean, did you see that girl that was walking around in the city, and the girl came behind her and just dropped her. 7:30 in the morning, you know, you're going to work. So, I think Jacinta Allen should resign, thinking that Melbourne's fine and everyone is scared. I don't know where you live, Khan, but it's everywhere, you know. So oh, hey, Edwin. Yeah. 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 I agree. And plus, Edwin, a lot of people are leaving this state, you know. They're leaving the country. Sorry, stuck in Melbourne today, and I turned I put the blind down. But yeah. I'm in the southeastern suburbs.
Race jumps in too. Got to be quick.
So it's the same everywhere, I think. I live in a very small, not new, old house with an old car parked at the front. So maybe they think, oh yeah, we'll go next door, you know, 2-story, multi-million-dollar houses. I'm the poorest in the street, or But if they want to hurt you, they'll come in. But I'm not one to go by and say, oh yeah, come in, and I'm scared of you. No, it's not gonna go well for them. Oh yeah, yep. I think if someone will come, well, I'm very calm and very happy, and I like to dance in nature. But if you come into my house with ill intent, there's 10 steps to come up. Chances are you'll be rolling down, and good luck at the end, you know. I'm not picking you up. I just call the cops. They can pick them up, you know. I don't turn my other cheek, you know. An eye for an eye. I'm older now, like I'm 55 years old, and I just had surgery. And my leg is being cut open and put screws in it with a plate. So I got walking sticks, and I'm still trying to, you know, find the positive part of not being well. And, you know, I have a property that is off the grid 5 hours from here in the northern Victoria. And so I left in 2018, Melbourne, kind of like started to have a project, you know, like put solar panels and grow some batteries. And I've got a beautiful setup, you know, and it's an old shed in half an acre. And that town has got 5 houses. And you think, I'm near the South Australian border. You got rivers, the desert, nature, and the drama is there, you know, like small town, bigger dramas, you know. Yeah. Look, Ken, and even what Edwin Rogers said, that why, you know, the allure of travel had died due to the entire world wanting to come here. Why travel when the travel comes to you, you know? I love it. But if there is that, they're gonna say, hey, lock me up, and let all the news come, you know, to see who is with us, who will defend your home. Back in the day, you defend your kingdom, and you know, in Australia, they have trespassers will be shot on sight, and those that are fallen down and not passed will do it again. I've seen signs in the outback in Australia: private property, do not enter. Police are not allowed to enter. No one's allowed to enter. So country Victoria is armed to the teeth. So I want to see these people go to country, they don't go there, you know, and the ones that do, doesn't end out well, you know. It's just Melbourne. We are a multicultural society, you know. I respect everybody, like you said. Doesn't matter where you're from. It's just your values as a person. If you want to come into Australia, that's fine. You want to work and come out of, you know, horrific situations. But you can't just start a war where the government is sitting there going, oh, we have no problem here. Victoria is safe, Jacinta Allen said. And the cops are trying to do the job in a way like they grab them and they take them and the courts let them out. So who's to blame? First of all, 13-year-olds should be at home, you know. And if they're not at home, the parents should know where he is. Unless the home system is broken, how are teenagers, where are they getting all these weapons from? You know, probably Amazon. You can just buy anything and they deliver it to your house. But it's, look, darkness. Let's bring some light into it. But yeah, no, it's something that I think it worries everybody. But it's just too much. Here's another little clip. We're watching clips today from the violence in Melbourne that is unheard of.
The true extent of Melbourne's crime crisis has been laid bare, with police admitting the crime rate is the worst ever. There were enough arrests in a year to fill 3/4 of the MCG, prompting one of Victoria's top cops to say, enough is enough.
There you go.
Unprecedented, alarming and exhausting. New crime statistics show Victorian police are arresting more than 200 people a day.
We are and have reached levels of crime never experienced in this state. There's got to be a line in the sand.
More than 73,000 arrests were made last year, the most since electronic records began in 1993, enough to fill 3/4 of the MCG.
The entire street and crescent that we live in, it's a fair mix of elderly and young families, and they're petrified.
Criminal offences are up almost 16%. Theft from a car, the fastest growing crime, up 19%. Retail and car theft also up significantly, with family violence order breaches increasing by 8%. Some residents resorting to hiring their own security to feel safe.
We want to see more police walk in the beat.
Police say there are 4 main drivers of crime in Victoria: the cost of living crisis, repeat offenders, drugs and technology, including a surge in devices that mimic car keys.
Aggravated burglaries in the last 12 months have gone up 27%. We are at a stage now we nearly have 1 aggravated burglary every hour here in this state.
Crimes committed by children aged between 10 and 17 also rose to their highest levels. Victoria Police says all these results could have been mitigated if stronger bail laws were legislated earlier.
Whilst there's delay, we know that that will mean there's more victims. We know that there's potentially families that will be terrorised.
We've acted in record time to get these laws before the Parliament this week.
I don't understand why we're going to change the system to try and stamp this out, and we're waiting till September to be able to enforce it.
Beth and Yeoman, 7 News.
So September come and gone, you know, we're in, this is in Chapel Street.
A machete-wielding man has gone on a rampage along Chapel Street, sending onlookers running for shelter. It's the final straw for residents and traders who say out-of-control crime has ruined the once glamorous strip.
Dashing down busy Chapel Street at dusk, gripping on to a machete.
It's not super unusual. I don't know really what.
Sorry, I think I just lost reception. I was answering a message.
Walking past, one store owner ran to take refuge inside Coles.
This commotion, it was pretty scary. It was just safety first. I don't know really where to go because they were getting a little bit closer.
Just minutes earlier, a woman was seen vandalising a phone box on the same street. And yesterday, a firebomber set himself on fire too. He remains in a critical condition in hospital.
Chapel Street is a shell of what it used to be.
Scenes like this have become the new normal on the once flourishing High Street. Last night's machete madness was the final straw for many locals.
My business has been graffitied, plants stolen. Gravel Street, there's been businesses that have had their windows smashed. Chapel Street's really turning into a bit of a zoo, I think, and we've got a lot of work to do that. Politically, I think we've got a lot of work to do there.
Enough is enough. Something needs to be done. It starts with state government getting tougher on crime.
Pleading for change.
It disrupts business and really affects us.
The concerns of residents and traders seems to be reflected in the crime statistics. Over the past year, the number of criminal incidents in this area has risen by more than 12%.
We have so many amazing businesses, such a great community, and something needs to be done.
Tyra Stowers, 7 News.
We're just watching the crime in Melbourne is completely out of control. I'm fed up.
An innocent man has been slashed in an unprovoked machete attack on the streets of...
We send it out to the world because Victoria is really, really struggling with crime. And like they just said, ages 10 to 17 are committing the crimes. I'm like 10 years old. And welcome everyone. Journey, good to see you, mate. And my Shannon, Thomas, my sweets.
St Kilda. He was ambushed by two teenagers in an attempted carjacking, with every frantic moment captured on camera.
I don't think they want to mess with me, you know, that's how we all feel at home. But then when you're confronted, yeah. Anyway.
As the sun set in St Kilda...
Is it plastic?
I don't know where.
7 News reporter Paul Dowsley couldn't believe what he was recording.
I can't tell if it's real or not.
Onlookers soon realising they were witnessing a violent carjacking attempt.
The machete, it was huge, like literally like my elbow size. The other guy was yelling, give me the keys.
They eventually ran off. The 39-year-old victim used his shirt to stem his bleeding, not realising just how bad it was.
Keep pressure on it, mate. You're bleeding heavily.
It would have been several centimetres long and quite deep, like a deep gash to the back of his head.
There was a lot of blood.
Witnesses did their best to help as Gavir called 000.
Trying to stop the blood, yeah, and I was just listening to them. They were giving me directions. He was like anxious, but he was talking.
The victim was taken to hospital as police turned Barclay Street to a crime scene. The man was lucky to have come away with injuries that police described as non-life-threatening, and he currently remains at the Alfred Hospital in a stable condition.
You always have a few sort of unsavoury characters hanging around. I just hadn't seen anything so raw take place in front of me.
Hundreds of fed-up residents and business owners have signed an online petition demanding action and claiming fear controls the lives of the locals.
We'd probably feel a bit safer if there was maybe like more of a security or a police presence around.
A 15-year-old boy was arrested today at Southern Cross Station. His female accomplice remains on the run. Tyra Stowers, 7 News.
So there's no discrimination. Women and men are going out. Girls
Young
and
father
boys.
has been left with lifelong injuries after he was slashed by sword-wielding thugs in a city attack. The supermarket worker is speaking out tonight, telling 7 News more must be done to stop Melbourne's knife crime.
5 seconds of terror changing Mohammed Panihani's life forever.
At that moment, I feel I died. It's happened like very quick.
The 35-year-old armed himself with a mallet after 2 thugs stormed the Easy Mart on Swanston Street wielding giant swords.
If I stay in that corner, they're going to kill me for sure.
They demanded cash and cigarettes moments before one of the pair slashed Mohammed's hand in half.
I saw all the wound outside, the blood, the muscle.
Rolling on the shop floor in agony, customers rushed to his side. One used a flag to stop the bleeding.
She jumped on my hand and she trying to stop the bleeding. I couldn't move. I hear everything. I can't move my even my tongue.
Mohammed only moved to Australia 6 months ago to complete his PhD, and he sends what little money he makes at the convenience store back home to his young family in Jordan. The father of 2 faces ongoing surgery. Doctors say he won't be able to use his hand for the next 12 months.
I'm suffering when I use the restroom.
2 18-year-olds have been charged over the attack. A 15 and 16-year-old are also set.
Oh, wow, another plane crash. Wow. Hey, Hook. I'm showing Melbourne. Bloody hell, right? I'm stuck at home with my locked doors. Good to see you, mate. Really good. I'm waiting for the surgeon to call. So I thought it's been a couple of weeks waiting. I thought I'm going live and showing the reality of what we live in here in Melbourne, the most livable city in the world, eh? Wow.
To be charged.
Because there is no laws charge the people, especially the teenage. Now all my employees, they're scared. They ask me I don't need to work alone, especially in the night shift.
The store owner wants more police to patrol Swanston Street with violence on the rise. Tyra Stowers, 7 News.
I got clips from South Australia. Terror attack, and machetes.
Introducing Sportsbet's new Hot Legs. Now you can see who's...
Chances are you're about to lose. Funny commercials we got here, hey Hook. Yeah, I saw a few in South Australia. Yeah. It's just
terrorised by a group of machete-wielding teens during a violent carjacking attempt in Melbourne's northwest.
I know they won't try and get my car, because you even have to roll the windows down the old-fashioned way.
Swinging a machete, leaving their victim bleeding in the street from a deep gash to his hand. The group had just tried to carjack a DoorDash delivery driver's Honda in Melton around 7 last night. The 23-year-old victim's mate was in the car with him when the youths swarmed, snatching its keys from the ignition.
They were yelling and they were banging.
Food had just been dropped to 15-year-old Cadence Hart, who saw the attack through her window.
I felt horrible that I couldn't even go out there and help, because if I did, I would have been hurt as well.
There was one kid who was filming the whole thing.
The group eventually gave up and ran.
All the kids nowadays, they keep it in their pants and then they pull it out and then stab.
Despite the danger, the victim and his mate chased the attackers for 300 metres and confronted them in a nearby court as residents watched on from their homes.
I was terrified.
They had a couple of swings and I thought, shit, this is fair income.
They were shouting at the pair.
I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. And then the other guy, let's go. And that's when they took off.
The driver ran to a nearby house for help, nursing his wound.
Quite deep. Really bloody.
What do you do? Someone's there bleeding and it's well, I can't administer first aid to the extent that he needed. So get him to somewhere that can.
They drove him to a medical centre. He was discharged from hospital today as police search for the attackers.
You can't even go out your house without being scared you'll be stabbed or killed. It's horrible.
Paul Dowsley, 7 News.
Fair dinkum, mate. I learned the Aussie, mate. when I came to Australia, I couldn't speak English, so here I am swearing and blasting and trying to make Melbourne the most livable city in the world again. It is beautiful. It's just, I'm happy to go out there and restore order. In a minute, I'll change the course of action of all this. Lock him up and, you know, don't give him any muckers, don't give him any McDonald's, don't give him any lollies, and just starve them with sugar and, you know, bloody just leave them in a bed with a book. Imagine the punishment, right? If they have to bloody read a book. Oh my God. And no phone. So, and a pen and paper. If they had pen and paper, oh, here, I've been rumbling. Pen and paper doesn't exist, right? We used to get in trouble if you had bad handwriting. And now, nobody writes anymore. When they send you paperwork to sign and you think, oh, I need a pen. I've got a million pens and paper because I love it, right? Bit old-fashioned me. But there's no pens. I mean, we got a lot because my kids in their 30s, they still play board games. And, you know, they were playing Cluedo and I don't know what else. And you got to write down the score, right? Fair income, mate. I learned the Aussie way, mate. They still look at me and go, hey, you got an accent. You're not from here. And I'm like, I'm not from here. Where am I from? Guess. And I'll give you $1 million if you guess where I'm from, right? I always play that because no one knows Uruguay. And no one knows Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay. So people said, oh, you're Greek. Oh, you're Polish. Oh, you're German. I said, no. And I'm in a taxi one day, right? And I played this game. He goes, oh, you got an accent. I said, yeah, I do, mate. Well, guess where I'm from, you know? Guess. Let's play the guessing game. Where Grace is from. He goes, you're from Uruguay. I'm like, what? Get out. You know me. You know someone that knows me. You've seen me. You follow me on Facebook. He goes, no. I got friends from there and your English is exactly like theirs. He blew my mind, you know? He's like, I don't have $1 million and I didn't play the bet that day. And I thought, great. He said, you're from Uruguay. But I'm Lithuanian by DNA. What's the capital of Lithuania? I will, you know, be on the train with my kids and play what's the capital of. And it's all right if you don't know because we'll come home and look it up. But we used to play that game all the time. And, you know, if you have a long trip to the city or you go on the footy here is Australian football rules. And, or we go to the tennis or a concert, we play what's the capital of. And, yeah. And it's funny because first you need to know the name of the country. And we'll choose funny ones like Suriname, you know. Don't ask me because I don't know anymore. This was years ago. And my brain is pooped. But yeah. How's that for crimes here? I should put relaxing music, but you put the news and there's another attack. Come at me. No. And it's like attack terror, you know. Oh, this my TV loves to go on chill mode. So yeah, South Australia. I know I was looking at another one that just happened, but the residents are fighting back, you know, and that's not good. Because violence incites violence. So how's these two? Look at these two. Oh,
Moving's hard.
Crazy.
Make it easier.
These two twins, right? They went and stole Lego. You know, the Lego. And the security guard, well, you see the story. I mean, who steals Lego?
Was stabbed near the same shopping...
Oh, hang on. Yeah, that, yeah.
Security guard was stabbed near the same shopping centre after confronting two women accused of stealing boxes of Lego.
Witnesses watching in horror as the victim lay bleeding at the Elizabeth bus interchange.
A security guard who'd just been stabbed collapses at the Elizabeth interchange. Police and paramedics race to help.
That's pretty savage, like, they got no ambulance here for the bleeding out, you know what I'm saying? It's insane.
People just like running around and I just heard screaming and stuff, and yeah, it was quite shocking.
Police say he followed two women who allegedly stole boxes of Lego from a store at the Elizabeth shopping centre. When he confronted the pair on the train platform, they produced a knife and one of them allegedly stabbed him in the forearm. The 34-year-old security guard was taken to hospital for treatment of serious but non-life-threatening injuries.
We don't want people to be stabbed or hurt, particularly in their day-to-day lives and when they're at work, when they should be safe.
Police arrested two women, both aged 27, as one was being taken into custody. She allegedly assaulted a police officer who suffered minor injuries.
Why not police car and a helicopter, mate? Hey, maybe you should call for backup bus!
I just say grow up and act your age, not your shoe size.
Yeah.
You know, be responsible. Yous are adults.
Many commuters say they don't feel safe catching buses and trains here at the Elizabeth interchange, and they'd like to see security stepped up. Peter Caldecott, 7 News.
And in breaking news, we can reveal the arrested women are twin sisters, and while one was released last night on police bail, the other wasn't. Lauren Rose joins us live from the Elizabeth Magistrates Court. Lauren, she'll stay behind bars.
She will for now, Rosanna, but a magistrate has ordered a home detention bail suitability report. That's despite a prosecutor arguing 27-year-old Milica Stamenkovic has a criminal history, is already on 3 separate bail agreements and is a danger to the community. She is the twin sister accused of slashing the security guard who'd followed the pair from Big W twice in the arm with a razor blade. That alleged offending was captured on the guard's body-worn camera. Stamenkovic is then accused of punching a police officer. She'll learn if she's eligible for home detention bail next week, while her twin sister, co-accused, will face court for the first time next month.
So, home detention. And she's a danger to this is horrible. Yeah, that's a bad story. We've seen Captain Underpants. But yeah, how terrible. You know, and this one is trying to frame the husband. It was a sad story, but yeah, you know, and Queensland is the same problem that we have here. Oh, I love this, Jason.
Thanks, babe. Just doing some important training. Oh, yum, Philly beef and oozy cheesy sauce. Thanks, babe.
He's an Australian comedian, Jason. I love him.
Frustrating, it's maddening, it's disgusting, knowing that they're doing.
Okay.
Youth crime. Politicians are always promising to fix it. They bring in tough new laws, but for some regions there aren't even enough police to enforce them, and the residents are at breaking point.
This is Queensland. I haven't seen Queensland, passing by where he is up in Queensland, they had massive storms, and I haven't seen him in chat. And sometimes he sleeps because he had, work schedules are different. But yeah, this is the only way to catch up with everyone, eh? We don't have each other's mobiles. If YouTube collapses, we lose contact with so many dear friends.
It's maddening, it's disgusting, knowing that they're doing this and they're doing it for just strictly the fun of it and to show off.
Stop this from happening in our little towns. We've had enough of things happening in our little towns.
Get out!
Go on, go get.
Got you on camera!
You're all on camera, mate, eh?
They don't give excuse my language, but they don't. And that's what pisses me off. That's what makes me so angry. Someone's gonna get hurt or worse, killed.
Got locked up too easy and now I'm on TV.
Welcome to Kingaroy, peanut capital of Australia. It's quiet and quaint, but it and the surrounding towns of Melbourne and Wandi are in the grips of a youth crime epidemic. If residents haven't been broken into or had a car stolen, they know someone who has.
Our town used to be a quiet little country town. You know, you could say hello to Bob and Joe walking down the street. Now you don't know who to trust.
Kayla is a local mum whose car was stolen 2 days after Christmas.
Angry, upset, devastated. I don't feel safe in my own home.
She held out hope it'd be found by police and returned, but like so many, it was burnt out, leaving her husband and their little boy stranded.
Just up in flames because they don't care.
Locals say there are multiple groups of young offenders, some younger than 10, roaming the streets through the early hours of the morning. The car these teenagers were captured breaking into on Christmas Eve is a hire car. The owner's actual car had already been stolen and trashed.
They've done this to so many different families and they don't care.
Natasha has lived in the region since she was a child. She says the crime has never been as frequent or as serious. These are her and her partner's cars being driven around by teenagers who broke into Natasha's home to steal the keys while the family were asleep on Boxing Day evening.
They're posting online, boasting
Yes.
about stealing your cars. How does that leave you feeling?
Very, very mad, very frustrated.
Her partner's work.
Sorry, they put music and YouTube blocks it, so.
Her car found severely damaged.
Yeah, just, I guess, angry that they took that away. So sorry. In a heartbeat, really.
Inside the family's ute were Christmas presents they'd received the day before.
Knowing that they just took all of that as well as the vehicles, it's awful. It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I've got another fella. He's hiding behind a house.
Officers have recently had some success apprehending alleged offenders in the area.
Come here now, you're under arrest.
Arresting a 14-year-old boy in Cherbourg on New Year's Day. And later that evening, a 20-year-old man who waded into floodwaters running from police. Both have been charged with a raft of offences and have been refused bail. But locals know a number of offenders remain on the run.
The police have actually told us that some of these people are repeating, going back to the same places again. So it's scary and awful to think that they may come back.
How worried are you for your community?
I'm very worried for our community, and I've watched our community going backwards.
Heather Phillips is a local business owner in Wandi, situated on the highway between Kingaroy and Melbourne. The town police station is only open to the public 2 days a week. Heather says that isn't good enough.
What needs to change in your eyes?
Policemen. 2 policemen, like the old days. None of this other stuff. None of this, let's just send in the task force when we need to.
And she's sceptical of the government's new youth crime laws. Introduced on December 12, they remove the detention as a last resort rule for juveniles and set minimum sentences for murder, manslaughter, serious assault, break-ins and dangerous operation of a vehicle to reflect a regime of adult crime, adult time.
New government, new laws. Does that give you some comfort at all?
No, and I voted for this. We all voted for this because of what was...
Sorry, so what she's saying is basically in small towns, sometimes you have a police station. Some close at 5, like a normal business. So in the town up there, massive town, we're talking 6,000 people, there's a police station with about 5-6 police officers. The major one is about an hour away. They're open. But like I said before, I called it because I needed them in the little small town that I was. Someone was knocking on my door in the middle of the night. But anyway, there's no police there. The new police close at 5. And the other ones told me, sorry, we don't have anyone down there. Just go back to sleep. So the coppers are all out looking for Desi Freeman, whatever, and couldn't find him. Spent millions of dollars, government resources, state revenue. And then we've got a lot to tackle. I think if the government gets together and said exactly that, you do an adult crime, you do an adult time. What do you do with a 10-year-old? You know, reformative is important. I think education is important. Why is this happening? I think it hits the core of society. And this is why I wanted to do this live. Because, you know, you hear crime, always. You hear someone, and say you have a dog, they will poison the dog sometimes, you know. They can't prepare. And they suss your house, they see, you know, I don't know. I think there's something that needs to be done. It's like, if they do the crime, they can't be let out on bail. This woman, the twins, she's going to be on the house arrest. How is that a punishment? You're home. There's no consequences. In Australia, it's tough with so many laws, like I said at the beginning of the life, I don't want to repeat, but we have a law that you can't even spit out of the car or throw rubbish, which is fair enough, but it's called littering. So if you litter out of your car, you get massive fines, but if you go out committing crimes, they'll let you out. And the sentencings here, they're like, you know, 1 year, suspended sentence, 3 years, and you're out. And when they're minors, they suppress all that information as well.
I look around and I think this is not what I came to Wondai for. This is not the Wondai I know.
The region's local member also happens to be Queensland's new Attorney General, Deb Frecklington. She was unavailable for an interview, but told A Current Affair,
"The crime wave the South Burnett has faced is disgraceful. I know people are frustrated because I am too. The state, including the South Burnett, is dealing with the fallout of young, hardcore offenders who were allowed to run wild for a decade under the old government. I've been speaking directly to the Police Minister about not only the issues of the past week, but also police resourcing in the region."
A spokesperson from Queensland Police confirming they're adopting
an agile and borderless policing approach,
where
Wondai Station is provided night shift coverage from neighbouring stations.
Also telling us a total of 75 people have been charged with 185 offences.
So they do neighbouring stations. So police in neighbouring towns, right, they not only have to look after their town, they also have to be vigilant about other towns. So that can't be right. Each town should have 2 police officers, night shift and day shift as always.
Across the region over the past month.
Get your bottom out of that ivory hat tower. Come on down.
I will feel safer. I will be happy when it actually starts bringing in results.
It's a beautiful place. It's just that we need the resources and we need this to stop happening.
I mean, you know, that's an hour of crime in Victoria. There's more and more and more and more. And also Queensland, South Australia, I had a few incidents, but Melbourne is daily, you know. You go into the city of Melbourne, like I love going to the theatre. I like going to the art gallery. Sometimes they have expositions. Or they might have a concert. They have markets. You go there. Like I used to take my 3 kids on the train and we used to go there for the day, you know, in Melbourne and enjoy time out. And now you looking into, do I go? You know, like I was going to catch a train in the other day and there were no trains running. And I thought maybe it's a blessing in disguise. But anyway, my sweets, I shall catch you soon. Thank you for stopping by. It's just updates all around me. We do news sometimes. It's been a while since we've done this. But I think it's no good to pretend it's not happening. I tend to go, yeah, well, I'm going through my own stuff at the moment and I don't want, you know, external pressures, and we all do that. But when he's I mean, I don't know other countries, you know, I don't live in other countries. I don't know what's going on. You hear the news and it affects you, you know, because you want people to live well everywhere. It's so sad, you know, sometimes. But, you know, like Thomas said, Australia is a place where people want to come and visit and travel. And we need to stop all these teenagers committing so many crimes. I mean, there's other crimes by other people that don't even make the news probably. So anyway, peace, love, and serenity. You know, oh Thomas, so many good people, and thank you guys for stopping in. I think it's important to bring awareness. You know, there's a lot of hate and trolls and people wanting to just do harm, and you know, they judge you for these, they judge you for that. Drama, you know, I think that we have enough, as we've seen here. We don't need to ourselves go out there and create situations online, situations with your neighbors, situations in small towns. I think it'll be good if we go back to family values that it has that compass in life, you know. You have a compass and you balance, you know, you balance the good and evil that we all have, you know, because we're humans. But I don't think I'm ever feeling I'm gonna harm somebody, you know, like it's not in me, you know, until they come into your home and threaten your life or someone you care about. So anyway, I'll see whether the hospital can have a plan for me, because I called them and said I'm taking double medication. You guys could have emailed me. We live in 2025. Say, Gracie, here's an email with exercises. Do this, don't do that, don't hurt your leg. We'll, you know, until we see you, do this, that. By the surgeon. you know, which was inside my leg, put in screws, and now I'm in agony. Today I have a good day, so that's good. But you know, medication, after 2 weeks of taking so much, you tend to have a good day. But yeah, I think it's irresponsible from the hospital, and I think that doctors don't know what to do. They don't have the power. I've asked for an MRI or a CT scan and ordered by, you know, by the surgeon. I said, what's wrong? Like, you guys can't communicate? Like, the surgeon doesn't have 2 seconds when she's having a sandwich to pick up the phone and say, hey, Gracie, I emailed something. Please follow this, or delegate with a nurse. You know, the health system is so important. We have people here with a lot of issues at the moment, and each person is important. You know, each member of society is important. Like, I work here, pay my taxes, bought a property, been homeless, and now I'm broke. I have nothing. I don't have my health. I can't work. I can't move, and I'm home alone. You know, I'm home alone. Not that I'm bitching about it, but I think it's important to respect, you know, everybody deserves some type of respect. From the surgeon, they possibly hurt me, and I don't want to call an ambulance because they're busy. I don't want to go to emergency department because they're busy with emergencies. Unless it's, you know, a big emergency, but it isn't. I'm not an emergency to them, you know? Unless you have a husband that loves you, or a boyfriend that loves you, or someone that loves you, and go, would you like a cup of tea? You know, do you need anything? I get the dog and the cat. They're so cute that the cat knows, and he comes and looks at me, you know. Animals know, and they're loyal. But yeah, we hope for always a better world, a safe world, a just world, a world without prejudice, without racism, without all these bloody rich people destroying it, corporations trying to make money, flatten building, and all they care about is money, you know. Everybody's chasing the capitalist world. Is not about well. I'm just saying that because you need to have, that means that people will do any type of job to have the latest. And if they don't have it, they go and take it. We got a lot of young girls going into prostitution. We've got, you know, a society that pushes you to have. And it's gotten to the point that, exactly, my life artist, you know, but they also, the thought that comes to mind is, you know, we need, you know, I always say, once they cut the umbilical cord, you're on your own, you know. And I've always had personal goals. My personal goals would be winning the race. I used to run 100 meters or 1500 meters, and I'm going to open the window. And instead of staying out with my friends that were smoking pot or, you know, drinking beer, I would go home because I wanted to get up early and train, you know. But that was me. And when you run or do gymnastics, you need to, you know, train. And in my head, I'm watching Martina Navratilova. I'm watching sports women, and I'm thinking, oh, I want to do that, you know. Nadia Comaneci, she was my favorite gymnast. And I could see her 10 every time she did a flip. So I tried the flips, almost broke my neck. But it's perseverance, you know. Perseverance. To be sure, to be sure. 3% Irish out. So, I danced the other day and I'm like, I'm not dancing right. I'm like moving to the music in my head, practicing my steps for when I get better and lose a lot of weight. So, you won't recognize me soon. I'll be a new woman. November is my month. I'm very positive and I'm ready for change. How's that? Let's go. All right, my angels, I do love you. And you know me, it helps so much. I watch the pictures now. I'm gonna read my book. It's getting, you know, it's 10:30 in the morning. See that? It's 15 degrees. It was 11 yesterday. So yeah, we're back to winter here, but it's all right. It is what it is. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. I'll catch you guys soon. Love you guys. Thank you all. And say hello to everyone in my name. Ciao, Enrique. Y Shannon. Lo quiero mucho. Bye, everyone. Catch you soon.